Good morning, my dear students. Hope you all are fit and fine. In the last session, we had studied in a letter to God that the Lench's crop was completely destroyed by the hailstorm. He had no hope to a human being that someone would help him. Instead, he had firm faith in God and he wrote a letter to God for help with some money. Right. But the letter was received by the postmaster. It is understood, right? When he posted the letter in the post office, the letter was received by the postmaster. In the very beginning, he broke into laughter. Means he laughed at the letter loudly for some time. But very soon he became serious and was surprised to see the firm faith shown by Lenchu, and he was highly influenced by his innocency. Thus, with good intention, the postmaster read the letter, right, and thought of replying to it so as to keep the writer's belief intact. He did not want to shake his faith in God. That's why he replied the letter in the way that Lencho expected. Actually, the writer expected the reply in a different way that could not be fulfilled with pen, paper, and morals. The farmer had demanded for 100 pesos actually, as I have told you in the last session, but he got only 70 pesos. How it happened, let us see. The postmaster, along with the colleagues and a few friends who were more than willing to donate for a good cause, connected a pool of money to help Lencho. Means the postmaster, along with the help of his colleagues, was able to collect 70 pesos. It was impossible for him to gather the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. It means 70 pesos. Pesos means currency of the country. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. You will be asked, why did the postmaster sign the letter as God? Clear? Let us see what will be the answer. Despite his best efforts, he was only able to collect an amount not more than half of what required. So, as we have understood earlier, he then addressed it to Lencho along with the letter which was undersigned by God. Clear? Again, the following Sunday or the next Sunday, Lencho came looking for the reply a bit earlier than expected. How it happened? The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed. The postmaster was looking at Lencho and was feeling his contentment, Lencho's contentment. Handing over the letter, Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. The postmaster found that Lencho shows not the slightest sign of surprising or surprise on his face. Such was his confidence, but he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. So, this was the belief by Lencho, right? This is the explanation that I have already explained it once again here. Next Sunday, Lencho came looking for the reply a bit earlier than expected. The postmaster handed him the letter, waiting to see him joyful and surprised, while the postmaster feeling satisfied oversaw it from his office. But on the contrary, the farmer got disheartened on seeing that the money was less than what he had asked for his faith. Still, uh, undeterred, and he believed that God cannot make a mistake. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. Actually, on being disappointed, he started looking for ink and paper to write to God again. While writing, his eyebrows got curled out of the concentration with which he was drafting a new request. On completing, he affixed it with a stamp. As soon as he dropped it into the mailbox, the postmaster took it out to read it. Lancho complained that he had only received 70 pesos and he is really in need of the remaining amount. You can see here how Lancho was in hope of more money, wrote again a letter to God in which he had complained, right? He doubted the integrity and honesty of the post office employees. Here, this is the irony in the statement here, that he doubted the integrity and honesty of the post office employees and suggested that the money should not be sent via post because he doubted that the staff at the post office must have stolen the missing amount. On the very first hand, the postmaster and his employees helped Lencho in order to not to shake his faith in God. But on the contrary, when he found the money, he was not even a little surprised. Ironically, he blamed the postmaster and his employees and called them a bunch of crooks, a bunch of cheaters who might have stolen his 30 pesos out of 100 pesos, who might have taken the rest amount that was sent by God. So, this is the ironical statement by Lencho. We can see here at the end of the lesson, we found that Lencho called them a bunch of crooks, a bunch of cheaters, instead thanking them. Right? So, this was the chapter A Letter to God, where you found that Lencho, who was a poor farmer, whose crop was completely destroyed by the hailstorm, even though he expected a good harvest that year, but unfortunately, the shower changed into hailstorm and destroyed his crop completely. Right? In worry, he thought to write a letter to God because he had found faith in God. That's why, without thinking anything, he just wrote the letter, and the letter was received by the postmaster. The postmaster took it seriously so as to not to shake his faith in God, and with the help of his colleagues he was able to send 70 pesos, but it was impossible for him to collect 100 pesos, the all money required by Lencho. Right, when he sent that money to Lencho, when he handed over the reply with the money to Lencho, he was in hope that he would be happy to see the sign of joy and the surprise on Lencho's face, but on the contrary, Lencho blamed the post office employees. Why? Because he found only 70 pesos. Rather, he thanked them, right? So, this was the story. Ironically, he just called the post office employees a bunch of crooks. Clear? And he was not even satisfied by the help given by the post office employees. Right, this was all the story, students. I hope you have understood it. Yeah, like it if you like it, or comment it, whatever you feel about it. Okay, students. Thank you. Have a nice day.